New system. All right, are we on? Welcome to this TESPN broadcast of Prep League football as the 1-0 Tigers of Woodbury Forest invade Aycock Stadium on a beautiful September afternoon to take on the host Trinity Episcopal Titans, who are coming in at 2-0. I am Rick Hamlin, joined here by JJ Wilcher. JJ, we were up here just a week ago watching these Titans put on a really dominant performance in a 48-0 shutout win of Fork Union. But today, the challenge, I think, is going to be a lot stiffer. What are you looking for here this afternoon?
I'm looking for an explosive offensive game. Both of these teams coming off putting up at least 40 points a game versus their respective opponents. I'm ready to see this Titans offense go against this Woodbury defense and this Woodbury offense go against this stiff Titans defense. So it'll be a great battle between two undefeated teams.
Yeah, I mean, just walking around the stadium, got here about 40 minutes ago. People are tailgating. It's a perfect day for football, sunny, 70s. And you can just feel juice in the air. I mean, the atmosphere just feels different than last Saturday. And that's probably because this is, become, in the last few years at least, almost like a de facto Prep League championship, because the winner of this game has won the Prep League every year since 2021, I believe. And these two have played very close games for the most part these last few years as well. All right, we are going to stop talking here so that you can enjoy the national anthem on this September 13th. All right, that was a nice rendition of the Star Spangled Banner by the Trinity Pep Band, and pretty loud singing from the Trinity student section, who are just to the right of your screen, so you cannot see the Trinity student section, but they are all clad in red, white, and blue America theme today, I think coinciding with the September 11th, of course, tragic day in our history, but our flag is still there. And I think everybody's just excited for this game now, JJ. Titans debuting these navy blue uniforms.
They look really good.
I know they're excited to break these out, brand new, fresh off the rack. And I think the numbers are going to be a lot easier for us to read than last week when they had the gray jerseys with the green numbers. A little hard to tell, but this white numbers on these navy blue uniforms, the green helmets with the Titan shield, Woodbury Forest in white tops, white pants, black helmets with orange writing, and the Tigers of Woodbury will receive the opening kickoff. Evan Goldschmidt put every kickoff last week into the end zone. This one is not quite to the end zone. It's going to be caught and returned by the Tigers. What a tackle. What a tackle by Trey Cherry. That was Nairobi Johnson out of York, Pennsylvania with the return, and Trey Cherry out of Henrico, Virginia with a big hit to establish the tone.
That's how you want to start the game, man. A big hit just right off the rip. Get those legs warm.
Yeah, I mean, that got everybody juiced. Trey himself coming out fired up. And now we see the Woodbury offense on the field for the first time. Very run-heavy offense for the Tigers. They run a lot of RPO action. And we do see the handoff. And there's Trey Cherry again with the tackle, but not before a good run by Keandre Hudgens.
Second down.
It was about a 7-yard gain by Hudgens.
Yeah, offensive line able to set that edge. And then great blocking on the outside, able to take the corner out the play for an easy gain of 8.
Looks like somebody jumped. And I think it's going to be offsides against Trinity, which will give the Tigers their first down of the day.
Encroachment on the Titans. 5-yard penalty result of the play, first down.
Quarterback for Woodbury Forest is J.R. Williams Jr. out of Hampton, Virginia. I believe this is his first year at Woodbury, coming in and starting at quarterback. So 1st and 10 Woodbury from their own 30. Titan student section getting loud. Snaps a little high. Johnson handles it. He does look to pass. He is sacked. Trey Cherry again. That man has come to play today, JJ.
Trey Cherry.
There's great coverage on the outside there by Josiah Walker. Able to have the quarterback not have too many options there, so he had to keep extending the play. Trey Cherry coming off the edge. And we all know that he's very, very, very fast, so not many quarterbacks are going to be able to outrun him when he has a full head of steam, and he gets the sack on that play.
Yeah, I mean, counting the kickoff, there's been 3 plays in this game. All 3 have ended with a Trey Cherry tackle. Number 1 is coming out ready. He's reminding me of my all-time favorite player, Sean Taylor, the way he's coming up from his safety position, laying those hits. 2nd and long, another high snap. Johnson just immediately tucks and runs. He's got a decent pickup, pushed out of bounds at, I believe, the 35-yard line. A little hard for us to see. There's a tent in the way of exactly where he stepped out, but they do indeed mark it at the 35. It'll be 3rd and 5 from the 35.
The blocking from Woodbury on the outside has been very, very, very good and allowed these running backs and quarterbacks to get outside. The corners for Trinity have to fight off those blocks and make these plays.
Yeah, number 70, the tackle, Buddy Wegdam for Woodbury. He is a Virginia Tech commit, the left tackle. So that helps when you got a big-time D1 player blocking for you. This run is going to pick up the first down on 3rd and 5. Keandre Hudgens runs for 7. And a Tiger first down.
Similar play to what we saw them start the drive with.
Very similar, almost the exact same, even down to how many yards he gained. Kean Montgomery hustles off the field. Another high snap. Not much running for Hudgens, but he does a nice job. Didn't look like much of a hole for him to run through there, but he still was able to manage to get 5 yards. Tackled at the 48-yard line of Woodbury. They'll have 2nd and 5 from there. Talking about this Woodbury offensive line, I mean, you can see just compared to what we saw last week with Fork Union, these guys are much bigger and present a very different challenge for the Titans. Hudgens yet again. He picks up about 2 yards there. Aronde Beeman with the tackle. Or actually might have been Michael Gibbs.
See the Woodbury coaches on the sideline complaining that Jack Brotherton didn't get off the field in time.
I didn't think he did either,
yeah,
actually. I mean, the Titans caught a little bit of a break there. Would have been a 5-yard penalty for 12 players on the field and probably a first down. Instead, they only pick up 1 yard, and it's now 3rd and 3 from the 49. Woodbury just picked up a 3rd down conversion a couple plays ago. This time they go to Hudgens. He is fighting. I don't think he got it. Picked up only 1 yard there. Mason Love was the first one to get to him. And then the Titans rallied to the ball. Got a pretty favorable spot, so it's only 4th and 1, and the Tigers do leave the offense on the field. And I know it's early, just about 4 minutes into the game, JJ, but this is a huge play, and it's going to be a timeout call by Trinity, and I think that is wise if you're not totally sure about how your personnel is lined up. 4th and 1 from just inside of midfield. I mean, this play is going to have a huge impact, I think, in this early going in the game.
It was a great initial play there by Mason Love to get a hold of the running back in not as open field as a usual open field tackle was, but still in a decent amount of open field. And he was able to hold him, keep him from driving forward for the first down. The rest of the Titans' defense was able to just corral him.
So if the Titans can stiffen here and make the stop, they'd have great field position. But if Woodbury can pick up, it's about 1.5 yards. They've run for positive yardage on every running play thus far in the drive. The only loss of yardage they had was when they tried to throw the ball, that Trey Cherry sack. But this is going to be a tone setter early. You know, last year these teams played to 34-28 in favor of the Tigers. The year before that, Trinity won 33-30. 2022, Trinity pulled away at the end, but it was a very close game for 3 quarters. And that 2022 Titan team was a pretty special undefeated group, and Woodbury gave them one of their biggest challenges of the year. Back to 2021, Trinity won by only 7 points. So you can really expect this will be a close one, a 4-quarter game, and this will be a big play in establishing. And it looks like they have no running backs in. Got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Timeout Woodbury. So it's seeing a little bit of a chess match here, JJ, between the coaches. First, Sam Mickens, Trinity Episcopal head coach, called a timeout. Then the Tigers lined up. Didn't like what they saw. And head coach Jackson Mateo burns his first timeout.
Seems like they're switching out to the punting unit here, which is very interesting. You've had a couple of good plays all on the ground. The one time you did try to pass, it ended up in a sack. So I was very surprised to see that they went no running back there. They could have tried a direct QB power or something like that. But, yeah, I was very surprised to see them come out and no running back.
Yeah, I agree. And you're right, JJ, you spotted it. They are going to change their mind and punt. I mean, it's a close call here, you know, this early in the game, whether you should go for it or not there. But from the Titans' perspective, I think you're probably a little bit relieved to see the punter come out. They do snap it back to the punter, no fake. It's a left-footed, low-line drive. Scooped up by Devion Brown inside his own 10, and not much running room there for the man they call Fat Rat.
Was not a great punt. Really just skipped on the ground a lot. Got a lucky forward bounce for Woodbury to where Davion either had to pick it up or had to hope that one of the Woodbury defenders wouldn't go recover it at the 1, and it'd be even worse field position.
Yeah, that was Foster Harry, number 12, with the punt, and it was not a pretty one, but it was pretty darn effective in pinning the Titans deep. It was such a low kick that I was worried it might hit a Titan player, which then, of course, it would have been a live ball. In fact, I'm not convinced it didn't hit somebody on the way through there, and I think Fat Rat had to pick it up just in case, but he had really nowhere to go. All right, first play from scrimmage for the Titans is a handoff and a positive run. What a run by C.J. Gray. Breaks the tackle into the secondary. That is a 34-yard run on the first play from scrimmage.
35 and the Titans first down.
And I think I said C.J. Gray, but correction, that was Carson Parks on the run. Parks wears number 7 and Gray number 8. My mistake there. They run in very similar style, both on the shorter side, but very powerful and fast. And it was a really great sort of two-headed monster. Plus, they can put Devion Brown back in the running back spot as well, although he's, of course, usually a wide receiver. Official timeout.
I think it was the official's timeout.
Yeah, official's timeout. I think maybe just an equipment situation, I think. But here we go. 1st and 10, Titans from their own 44. Handoff to Parks again. Another good run. Another first down and more. Carson Parks runs for another 30 yards. Two runs and over 60 yards on the first 2 plays from Carson Parks against this Woodbury Forest defense that gave up only 7 points all last week to Flint Hill. And I actually can't remember if I mentioned this yet, but Woodbury Forest was undefeated last year. So, I mean, this Tiger team, I think the last loss perhaps they suffered actually maybe was here 2 years ago at Trinity in 2023. Deke Scogan with some time. It's a little bit behind his intended receiver, Hugh Stone, the tight end. But so, yes, Woodbury Forest undefeated last year. Now, of course, they don't compete in the Vista State playoffs. So they preserve that second Saturday in November for their big rivalry game against Episcopal High School every year. But you'd have to think that if they had competed, they probably would have won the state championship last year. They beat Benedictine, who ultimately did win it for Vista Division I. Back to Parks. Why not? I mean, that is what's working right now. And this time goes right down the middle. Picks up 8 yards, going to be 3rd and 2. And one thing, JJ, that's a little bit different this year, the Titans at times at least are putting the quarterback directly under the center. I mean, in my memory, it's been always out of the shotgun for the last several years, but we see Deke Scogan under center, 3rd and short. Hand is to Parks. He's got a lot of room, and he picks up the first down. His offensive line doing a great job on this opening drive.
Yeah, Carson Parks is a very physical runner. If we go back to that first run where they were down inside their own 10, he ran over a linebacker, and that's not easy to do. Linebackers are usually very big, very strong, great tacklers. But he ran through one, kept his momentum going, gave a man a stiff arm around the 35-yard line, pick up those extra yards. And then on the second run, he just used his speed to get to the outside.
Play action. Pass is caught out on the left side. Believe it was Deuce Mason. Sorry, Josiah Walker. There is a flag on the play. And I think it's maybe going to be a late hit against the Tigers. Check that face mask. 5-yard face mask.
Face mask on the Tigers.
And where the ball is going to put it all the way inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal, Trinity, from the Woodbury 4-yard line.
I am expecting a run here with Carson Parks right up the middle like they did versus Fuma a bunch.
And I think it's going to be offsides against Woodbury as they tried to time up the snap count, but they got it wrong, and that'll be a half the distance and be 1st and goal now from the 2-yard line. And JJ, in this early going, Titans have to come away with points here after they've driven about 90 yards to get down here.
Yes, you have to.
Go the tush push as they call it, the Eagles, and it is a touchdown, Titans. Deke Scogan keeps it.
Deacon Scogan, Titans touchdown.
Officials are having a bit of a discussion. There is a flag. Yeah, but that was really reminiscent of what the Eagles have been doing for several years with Jalen Hurts and pushing him forward. And Titans did it there. Hugh Stone got behind his quarterback, Deke Scogan, and helped push him in. But there appears that it's going to be a penalty against Trinity.
Yeah, even though it doesn't stand, I know Coach Banworth, the strength coach, is going to be happy about that one. He's always, getting us in the weight room, getting us strong, and showed the strength there by the Titans.
We've got aiding the runner on the Titans. And
Aiding the runner. I guess it's not legal in high school.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one before either.
Yeah, I know in this offseason in the NFL, they had a debate whether to make it illegal at the pro level and ultimately decided to allow you to push the runner. But I guess in high school it is not. But it ends up being an offsetting penalty because the Tigers got penalized. All right, our executive producer, Carter Tyree, has informed me that you cannot pick him up. So you can push him, but you cannot pick him up. I guess the Titans took Deke for a ride there. So it's still going to be first and goal because it was offsetting penalties as Woodbury was called for a personal foul as well on the play. The play you called for initially, Carson Parks' handoff is what they do, and he is in for a touchdown, Titans. JJ, they should have listened to you the first time, although yet again there's a flag on the play, and it feels like there's been a flag on just about every play about 5 times in a row here. But Titans are running off the field, so I think it is going to count. Touchdown is good. Unsportsmanlike, though, against the Titans. So touchdown counts, 6-0 Titans. And then Woodbury will have the option to either take the penalty here on the extra point or they could take it on the kickoff. But I think that I saw Coach Mateo say he wants to take it on the kickoff, yeah.
Penalty would be enforced
So
on the kickoff.
Titans, I don't see kicker Evan Goldschmidt out there, so I think Titans are going to go for 2 here. I also don't see Deke Scogan out there, so it looks like it's going to be Davion Brown in the backfield. And it's a straight keeper to Davion Brown. He fights. He did not get in. There's also a flag holding offense, but he didn't get in, so Woodbury's just going to go ahead and decline that. And that could be a critical point later in the game. Woodbury did well to keep Fat Rat out of the end zone on that 2-point conversion try. But I think it shows you, the aggressive mindset that Coach Mickens has today, even with a very reliable place kicker in Evan Goldschmidt, to go ahead and go for 2 on that first touchdown. To me, that just sends a signal that we are playing to win. But this time it didn't work out.
Yeah, both teams on these opening drives going to the ground. Woodbury at the start did very well rushing-wise, but was just stalled out around the 50. And then the Titans, 2 big rushes, a short pass, but also more rushing to get them down the field, and ultimately ends in a rushing touchdown. So it'll be interesting to see, the wear and tear on these players that the running game usually has. The linemen, the D linemen, the front 7 usually do get pretty tired after a while. So, yeah, like I said, it'll be interesting to see both these 2 rushing teams go back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. This game is going to be, I think, one in the trenches. You got great O-lines on both sides, good D-lines. I mean, there's also, of course, really, really talented skill position players. All right, we got exactly 5 minutes left in the first quarter. And Evan Goldschmidt, of course, is going to have to, after that penalty on the touchdown, Woodbury elected to make them kick it from 15 yards back. So as strong a leg as Evan Goldschmidt has, I don't think he's going to be able to get it to the end zone from here.
Well, last game he did kick one out of the end zone, which technically would have got it to the end zone here, but the first kick wasn't as good as we seen last week. So, yeah, I doubt he gets it through the back of the end zone this time.
Goes with a short one, and it's fielded by the Tigers at the 45-yard line. Jacob Katonga fields that, and it's going to be great field position for Woodbury. And I'm not totally sure why. I mean, I see Coach Mickens does not seem to be calling for that. Is he just asking Evan, why did we do, I wouldn't even call it an onside kick, but like such a short one, especially when you're already back kicking from your own 25. So without having to do anything but catch the ball, Woodbury Forest is going to have excellent field position on their second drive of the day from the Trinity 46-yard line. They are going to make Woodbury's number 6, Hudson Zell, has to come off for this play. I'm not entirely sure why, but the official told him he had to go off the field. First and 10 Tigers. Reverse. Sniffed out by the Titans. They try and throw it back to number 11, Hudgens, but good job by the Titan D there. They got great penetration to force Williams, to throw it quicker than he wanted, and also pretty good coverage on Hudgens.
Yeah, great pressure. Wobbly pass. Almost was completed. Almost would have been a great snag, but just couldn't quite reel it in.
Yeah, and I think you got to give Mason Love a lot of credit. Got in the quarterback's face there. It was a clever play design, though, with snap going to the running back, who then lateral to the quarterback, who then tried to throw it back near side to that very running back. All right, 2nd and 10. Williams, nowhere to go. Kean Montgomery, and let me guess, Trey Cherry. I couldn't even see his number, but I could tell by the way he hit him that was Trey Cherry. Montgomery got him low, and Trey Cherry finished it up. And, I mean, he is flying around today.
These Titans are rallying to the ball, shutting down everything. This has been a lot better drive than the first one we saw. They have Woodbury hasn't been able to really get any momentum going forward, and hasn't had any lanes to run. So credit to the defensive line, even though most of them aren't really making any plays, they still have a great, very big impact on the game.
All right, 3rd and 11 here. You would think of passing down. Woodbury has mostly run the ball so far, but he's definitely looking to pass, looking left. Pressure is being applied. It's Trey Cherry again with a big hit. I mean, Trey Cherry is just on something different today. Incredible pressure. Incomplete pass. But I don't know. I don't actually see a flag, but Woodbury is signaling like there is a flag. Defensive holding. So instead of the Titans getting the 3rd down stop, Woodbury is going to get to keep possession.
Yeah, Trey Cherry flying to the ball on that play lays a booming hit on the quarterback there. That's like the type of rallying you see in the Division I level. Those are the type of plays that get you college offers. Absolutely,
and Trey Cherry has a number of college offers, just a junior. But it's a bummer for him that play won't stand. And instead of 4th and 11, it's going to be 3rd and 1. For the Tigers at the Titan 37-yard line. I would expect Woodbury to run it here. They do, and they're going to, I think, get the first down. He didn't get much, but I think he did get enough. They only needed really just not even a full yard. Another flag flies in late.
Run by number 11. Should be counted out. 82, flag in play.
So Hudgens picked up the first down, and then after the play, we're going to have a late hit against the Titans. I didn't see it, JJ, and it is an ejection as well. Jack Brotherton, who has had a great season so far, is done for the day.
Number 44 has been ejected from the ball.
Some debate of whether he was ejected, but
Correction, number 44 remains in the ball.
I mean, the official definitely signaled that he was out, but maybe he just meant he had to get out for that play. I don't know. Anyway, sounds like Jack Brotherton's day is not done, but he is not in currently. So I'm sure you all probably saw the official as well with the thumb in the air, but no ejection. But it is a first down. Woodbury in good field position. They do throw. It's very high and behind the receiver. Good coverage by Josiah Walker. And JJ, I'm looking around because it's been a while, I feel like, since we've had a play that there wasn't a flag, but I do not see one.
Yeah, it looked like a clean play there, just overthrown by the quarterback there.
Second and 10. Ball is just outside the 20-yard line. And there's a flag. Stop me if you've heard that yet today, JJ.
Yeah, it's got to be at least over 90 yards given off straight penalties for both teams, really.
Yeah, we're still over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and I do think maybe some nerves. I mean, these teams know that this is a huge game. Both teams have a lot riding in the balance here. As we've said, whoever's won this game has won the Prep League for the last 4 years. I'm sure St. Christopher's also will be in the mix for that this year, as they have a great team as well. But it's early season meeting this year. In the past, these teams used to meet much later in the season, but just the third game for the Titans and second for the Tigers, and both not quite in midseason form in terms of cleaning things up. Pass incomplete. Intended receiver there was Nairobi Johnson. Johnson couldn't quite hang on, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
The Titans are putting a lot of pressure on Woodbury here for every single passing play. Like, all the passes that Woodbury have thrown have not been accurate, and that is because of defensive linemen or linebackers in the face of the quarterback before they can even turn their body to get the throw off.
Yeah, totally agree with you there, JJ. And we'll see on this 3rd and 10 if the Titans can continue to apply that pressure. Obvious passing down. They're going for the end zone. It's going to be in and out of the hands of Josiah Walker. Very good coverage by Walker. 4th and 10.
4th and 15.
Or 4th and 15, rather.
Once again, we see the pressure from Trinity there, getting in the face of the quarterback, causing a way overthrow again. And Josiah could have had a pick. Was a tough play for a person of his size. But we do think Josiah should have been able to hang on to that ball there, get a touchback, and let the Titans offense get another shot to go out there and score again.
Jacob Katonga on for a it's not Katonga, it's 41, not 4, my bad. It's Lucas Dingle from Charlottesville, Virginia. 43-yard attempt. It's low, but it is wide left. No good.
Very weird kick there. Flew in like a frisbee more than like a football that you usually see. It definitely had the leg still, which was very surprising once I saw that kick, but just a little bit to the left.
Yeah, and actually went back this week in preparation for this broadcast and watched the game 2 years ago between these teams that the Titans won 33-30. It was a really great game that season, and one thing that jumped out was at that point Woodbury Forest kicker was an incredible weapon for them. Every kickoff was a touchback. He had field goal range out beyond 50. That young man went to University of North Carolina his freshman year, and now has transferred to Illinois, which I believe the Illini are top 10 team currently. And Woodbury has another really good kicker in Dingle with a strong leg, but that one was just wide. Devion Brown with a catch, and he could go, but he is tripped up. But still a huge play of 40-yard play on the first play from scrimmage, and that second possession for the Titans. Devion was pretty open.
Yeah, you give this Titans offense a chance to rest for that long with all the flags, all the plays. They're going to come out here and be, like, active, and that's what we as Titan fans want to see from this passing game that we haven't really seen so far this year.
CJ Gray with the carry. He makes a man miss, and CJ picked up about 5 yards.
Down to the 31-yard line. Second down.
Deke Scogan looking over to the sidelines, and offensive coordinator Malcolm Bell for the signal. Play clock is down to 5. Titans get the play off. Another handoff to CJ Gray, and CJ has a first down as Trinity continues to be effective running the football. This time they're inside the 25. CJ brought down at the 24, and another Titan first down.
Like you said earlier, it's two-headed monster at running back. You have to go from tackling Carson Parks, who's physical, fast, and going from tackling that to tackling somebody who's agile and fast. And it's not easy if you're on the defense. It's not something that you want to do.
Yeah, and historically, I feel like the best teams that Trinity has had, and I mean this is very typical of high school football, is when the Titans have had great running backs. And these two are, I think, some of the best that I've seen in the green, white, and today blue of Trinity. But nowhere for CJ to go on that particular run, and he goes for no gain. Really the first running play we've seen that has not been positive yardage thus far for the Titans.
One of the first plays in general that we haven't seen being positive yardage, which was the incomplete pass, and then that one right there.
All right, so 2nd and 10. Deke is in the shotgun. Passes out to the right. Passes caught. Good move. Deuce Mason made the catch there. He's short of the first down, but he picked up 9 yards.
Great play design there. All the wide receivers clearing out and allowing Deuce to get in open space. Give a man a move and pick up more yardage than he really should have on that play.
3rd and 1. Deke tried to draw him off sides with a hard count, but Woodbury stayed disciplined. Play clock down to 5. And they do get the play off. Also, not only was the play clock down, but so was the game clock. So that is the end of the first quarter. And the first quarter will end with a Trinity first down to the 11-yard line. And when we come back for second quarter action, as these teams switch end zones, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11 for the Titans. We're going to take a 30-second break, and we will be right back. We are back. Second quarter is going to begin with a 1st and 10 from the 11. Trinity Episcopal, their first drive of the game, went 90 yards for a touchdown. This is the second drive of the game. It's also been very positive. Carson Parks had decent running room. He picked up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 6. And
I think somebody's helmet came off on that play, too.
yes, I believe a Woodbury defender, so he's got to come off. Deke Scogan takes the snap, hands off again to Carson. He pushes forward down to about the 1 yard line.
Carson Parks down to the 1. That's going to be enough for a Titans first down.
First down, Titans. Be 1st and goal at the 1. Official timeout, as there is a Woodbury player down being attended to by the athletic training staff of the Tigers.
This is what you want to see if you're a Titan fan, though. 2 run plays right off the rip, and you pick up a first down inside the 1. So you now have 4 plays to get 1 yard, maybe not even 1 yard.
Yeah, I think the real key here is just keep it clean, because as long as they don't have a penalty, you feel very good about their chances to get in, like you said, with 4 opportunities from the 1. But that first period, first quarter today was pretty filled with penalties on both teams. And the last thing you want to do now is some sort of holding or procedure penalty that pushes you back. It's a beautiful day. It is warm if you're playing, though. I mean, it's September 13th. I mean, if anything, it's probably slightly cooler than what your average would be this time of year, but it's still about 80 degrees now, and the field is completely covered in sunlight, not a speck of shade. So one thing to look for as the day progresses could be cramping on a warm day like this. Good to see the Woodbury player is up and coming off the field, although he is requiring some assistance there. So some type of a leg injury, but he is off under his own power. Well, with some help, but no cart or golf cart or stretcher necessary, which you never want to see. All right, 1st and goal. Titans were able to get together on the sidelines there with the coaching staff. Coach Malcolm Bell, the offensive coordinator, does call the game from the sidelines. Sometimes you see offensive coordinators up in the booth, but he likes to be down there with the guys. They're going to go again with that tush push, but there's a flag. And this is what I was saying you did not want to see if you're a Titan. I feel like I almost spoke that into existence, unfortunately, JJ. But instead of what I think would have been a touchdown, it's going to be backed up 5 yards for a false start. So it'll be 1st and goal still, but now instead of from the 1, they're back at the 6 yard line. And now another flag, and now it's going to be offsides on Woodbury. So
give it right back.
It'd be half the distance, so you don't quite get it all back, but you'll get it back down to the 3. And
no, so you know they gave it all 5 back.
It does look like they did, although now, JJ, good spot by you, but unfortunately the officials figured out that it's a half the distance and not the full 5. So 1st and goal still. It's going to be take 3 on 1st and goal here. False start on the Titans, followed by offsides on the Tigers. Handoff is to Carson Parks. He lowers his head. He did not get in. They drive him back, but he gets to the 1 yard line. All right, 2nd and goal from the 1. Handoff to Parks. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and Woodbury hanging tough here. He did not get in.
Yeah, huge collision at the goal line, really, but Carson Parks unluckily fell to the right instead of falling forward, and he was stopped short.
This Woodbury defense is really good. So we're going to get a timeout, official timeout. There's fortunately, another player down for the Tigers. So he's.
I think that was the man who made initial contact with Carson Parks. They didn't really hit like helmet to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing, JJ. I mean, that was a pretty violent collision. From up here, we're a ways away, but that was like a NFL type of just Carson was going full speed, and number 2, the tackler there, CJ Rissmiller for the Tigers. I mean, they had a major collision, and it looks like Rissmiller has come off a little bit worse for it, holding his shoulder, like you said, but he is able to walk off the field. Hope that he's okay. He is a junior from York, Pennsylvania. But, yeah, I mean, this Tiger defense, I was just looking at their scores from last year. Titans put up 28 against them, but other than that, this defense gave up 0, 7, 0, 7, 14, 12, and 14. So, I mean, they are not used to giving up many points and only gave up 7 last week in their opener against Flint Hill. They're looking for Devion Brown. Pass is broken up. I'm pretty surprised there wasn't a flag there, as Jacob Katanga did a nice job breaking up the pass. I thought maybe he got there a little early, but no flag. And now 4th and goal from the 1. Scogan back under center. Hands to Carson Parks. He wiggles his way through, and he is in. Touchdown, Titans. Great effort by Carson Parks, and that young man deserves it for the day that he has had so far. Once again, Woodbury did a nice job. He didn't have much of a hole to run through, but Carson was able to wiggle past a couple defenders and reach that ball out, and a huge touchdown to cap off about an 80-yard drive that spanned the 1st and 2nd quarter and took about 6 minutes of game action. This time Titans will just kick the extra point. Evan Goldschmidt's extra point is good.
And it is very, very, very hard to stop an offense inside their 5 with 4 downs to go. That's why in the NFL when it happens, everybody's hype. In college when it happens, everybody's hype, because there is over 1,000 pounds of muscle in the middle of the field, just going head on at each other, like it's like a war basically. It's just going head on at each other. So the physicality, the endurance, is very hard for a defense to keep that up for 4 plays. And like I said, usually it results in a touchdown, and the Titans were able to do it on that play.
For sure, and let's give a shout-out to some of these offensive linemen for the Titans. You got Sean Hargan, Eli Isaacs, Arinde Beeman. You got, I believe, Miles Love and Landon Bell are the 5 guys up front for the Titans. And a lot of times, the O-line doesn't always get their name called out very much, but those guys have had a great first, I guess about 14 and a half minutes here in this ball game. Yes, Parks and Gray have run very effectively, but they have had, for the most part, a lot of holes thanks to that O-line of the Titans. All right, Evan Goldschmidt is kicking off now for the 3rd time today. Last one, he did that short kick. He definitely kicks it deep here, and it's fielded at the 5. Josiah Walker makes a great solo tackle in the open field. It was Abby Ruffin with the return for the Tigers, and a good tackle by Josiah.
Defensive line, front 7, was able to get a lot of rest during that long drive for the Titans. Plus, you had the quarter break. So it'll be interesting to see, like I said, this Woodbury run-style offense and then this front 7 at Trinity go against each other here.
That's a great point. And, at the high school level, of course, so many guys play both ways. But the Titans have the luxury that they don't have to have too many guys playing on both lines. Pass is caught there by Hudson Zell. And Hudson with a solid gain. Looks like Zell picked up 9 yards. And shout out to Hudson's mom, Khaki Allen, Trinity class of 1998.
Yeah, Woodbury have to score on this drive here, in my opinion. You have to at least get 3, and you ideally want 7, but you need 3 on this drive.
For sure. I mean, and the last thing they would want is a 3 and out, where the Titans have a lot of momentum right now. But that play went for no gain, maybe even a loss, as that handoff to Keandre Hudgens was well defended by the Titans, and it's going to be 3rd and 1. Quarterback keeper, he does not get it. Tackled for a loss. It was Mason Love. And it's going to be 4th, and he lost probably 3 or 4 yards there. J.R. Williams Jr.
What I saw on that drive is that Woodbury offensive line is very, very, very tired. I saw a Woodbury offensive lineman stay on the ground a little longer on that last play. There was a couple of just standing up at the offensive line versus the Trinity defensive line on the right side, which wasn't really important because they weren't really part of the play, but it's still not what you want to see as a Woodbury fan. You want to see everybody energetic and ready, but it seems like this Titans offensive line is doing a great job of tiring out the the offensive line of Woodbury.
Yeah, Tigers forced to burn a timeout there as they had a little confusion, a couple guys running on the field late. I'm sure Coach Mateo is not thrilled to have to use his second time out of the first half to get the punt unit out there. And, yeah, even after the 9-yard gain on first down for Woodbury, they still end up with the 3 and out just at a time, JJ, when you were saying they needed points or at least to sustain some time of possession to let their defense get a break. And instead, they're going to go back into that punt formation and have to give the ball back to the Titans. You mentioned the Woodbury's offensive line looking a little tired. We must point out one of their best offensive linemen, Junior Saunders, who is a junior from Greensboro, North Carolina, is out today. Junior has, I think, over 20 big-time offers, including a number of SEC and ACC schools. So it's unfortunate for Woodbury that Junior Saunders is not able to play today. He will be back, though, in a couple weeks' time, I believe. Left-footed punt. This one's very different than the first Woodbury punt. High, prettier looking, but probably actually didn't go as far as that low-line drive that the first punt had. So it'll be good field position for Trinity, taking over at their own 48-yard line.
The good thing about this Titans offense in this situation, they do not have to rush the score. They can take off 5-6 minutes off the clock and leave Woodbury with only a minute left. It may be less than a minute if they want to score. And they also get the ball back at halftime. So you could get a 2-for-1 here if you're really, really, really good at time management, which Coach Bell is.
Yep.
So it's possible that he could do it, but from this close, I don't really see it happening.
Yeah, they've been pretty methodical. Like we said, took a lot of time on that last drive. This might, to me, be a first down shot. Good field position. Well, they were going to run, but they're not going to do anything because there is a flag. Delay of game. Those are the kind of penalties that drive coaches crazy. I mean, you're coming out for the first play of the possession. I mean, you should really never have a delay of game, but, maybe you might have it in the middle of a possession, but your first play, what are we doing there? Come on, guys. And Coach Mickens, I think I'm expressing his frustration into this microphone. He's expressing it to his players. Nothing doing there as Woodbury does a great job. That was Grayson Cooley, the senior out of Keswick, Virginia, with the tackle for no gain for C.J. Gray.
I also don't know if you noticed, but the ambulance has put out of its spot and went to the front of the school. So I think somebody will be having to, sit out the rest of the game, really.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
2nd and 15. Now they're going for the shot play that I called for, and they hit it. Devion Brown catches it. He's inside the 20, inside the 10. Touchdown, Titans. 57 yards. Deke Scogan to Devion Brown makes it 19-0 Titans. And Devion getting closer to the all-time receiving record in the entire Central Virginia 804 region ever. Like, we're talking, I mean, there have been some pretty impressive players coming out of this area for many, many years. And with that 57 yards, he is just over 100 away from being the leading receiver ever in the Metro Richmond area at the high school level. That extra point was no good. Goldschmidt pulled it left, so it'll stay 19-0.
It was a great mesh concept there too. We had a not a post, but like a deep in route on the outside and a seam on the inside, which pulled the safety to Deuce Mason, who was running the seam. And Devion Brown with that speed, obviously we catch that over the middle, and nobody has a hand on him. He's gonna take it to the house, outrun everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Tigers actually had the angle on him. I wasn't sure he would make it, but that's where that 4.3 speed is just a difference maker. And JJ, great breakdown by you. We gotta see if we can get you a telestrator up here, Tony Romo or Troy Aikman style, because you really are so good at diagnosing plays. And after last week's broadcast, JJ, your first football broadcast, but you were a seasoned veteran, and I had numerous people all week saying what a great job you did and how you knew so much about football. And I did not realize. I knew you mentioned on last week's broadcast that you played JV in 9th grade. JJ is now a junior for folks who are listening, and a couple guys who were on your team said you were good, and that you had one game you had 3 interceptions. They told me.
Yeah.
But I know baseball is more the focus now, as well as doing this broadcasting thing, and I'm sure there are times you wish you were down there, but we're also really glad that you're up here breaking down plays for us, as this is a pretty good return out across the 20-yard line, and a late flag does come in. So Abby Ruffin returned it again. Do you have a pick six back in the?
Yeah, versus St. Chris on this field, yeah.
Nice. That had to feel good.
Yeah, it did.
Win the game?
Nah, we lost.
Oh.
We were up like 6-0, and then we allowed like 18 straight points. I think it was like 2 pick sixes and something else.
Oh, man, yeah. Well, JV football, yeah, usually not a lot of extra points made in JV football. So you get a lot of those 18-6 type of scores. That's pretty great memory for you, though, to have a pick six.
Yeah.
Right here on Aycock Stadium against one of the main rivals of the Titans, the St. Christopher Saints, who, along with these two, very much in the mix this year for Prep League supremacy. And that penalty was for holding on the Tigers, so they will not have very good field position. In fact, taking over from their own 9-yard line. And at 13-0 down, we thought the Tigers really needed to score, but now at 19, they even more so. They fake the reverse. He is looking to pass, but he's hit. And there is a flag down in the secondary, though. Want to give credit to the hit by Trey Cherry again, just living in the backfield. But the flag came from a place you might expect. No, never mind. I thought it might have been a defensive hold, but it was actually on the Tigers, but declined. Well, I don't know. Woodbury quarterback is signaling that the flag is against the Titans, and now they have changed it. So it is defensive holding, as I first suspected. I think the official just signaled wrong the first time. So instead of 2nd and 10, and that's the second time we've seen a great Trey Cherry defensive play wiped out by a penalty in the secondary.
But yeah, as you said earlier, as we said the drive before, they need at least 3, but ideally 7. Now they need 7. They have to, maybe even 8. You have to try and go for 2 because, and you can't allow a 3 and out here because if you allow 3 and out here, the Titans get the ball back. With all this momentum that they have, if they score, they get the ball back again, it could be game over. Just
absolutely. A good job breaking the tackle there by J.R. Williams Jr.
Run by Jericho for gain of 3. Second down.
It looked like he could have been thrown for a loss as the Titans got to him in the backfield, but Williams did a nice job breaking a tackle and making a positive out of what could have been a pretty disastrous play here. So it will be 2nd and 7 from the 22. Williams looking to pass. He throws it up. Great coverage, and it's picked off.
Pass by J.R. Williams Jr.
Intercepted by Marquez Bullock.
Titans ball.
Great coverage there by Bullock. And, yeah, I mean, first INT for him as a Titan.
Almost had one last week versus Fulham, but gets it this time. And that was great defense all around. The Titan defensive line able to flush the play back inside to where our linebacker had the pressure. And then a diving interception on the play. He was able to keep the receiver right in front of him, didn't allow him to get behind. And like I said, diving interception, get the Titans the ball back. And like I said, if they score here, I do think the game will be over.
The game last year, I will say, Titans led 28-10 against Woodbury, and the Tigers finished the game on a 24-0 run to come back and win at 34-28. So, you know, there's no quit in this Jackson Mateo coach team, but I do think JJ, a score here just would make it a mountain to climb for sure. CJ Gray eludes a tackle, cuts his field back, and he does, I think, fumbled at the end, but I think the Titans did recover it. CJ ran for, looks like 11 yards. I think he is going to get a first down there. Let's see who recovered. Sam DeFrancesco with a huge fumble recovery.
Yeah, great awareness right there.
We've seen DeFran get in the end zone a bunch, the tight end who's a University of Richmond commit, senior leader on this team. But that fumble recovery is, to me, you know, just as good as a big catch by him, because otherwise Tigers would have taken over in good field position. But Sam DeFrancesco keeps the ball in Titan hands. First down from the 36. Play action. He's looking for Devion Brown. And pass is broken up. That was not the crispest throw by Deke. And I definitely want to give credit to the DB there because he did a great job breaking that up. Really broke on the ball well there. Sorry, JJ, I'm having trouble. I think it's number 8, Anish Roy from Nassau, Bahamas. So if the Roy family is watching down in the Bahamas, great play there by Anish. Second and 10. Carson Parks hits the hole, and it's another good run. The O-line is fired up. 8 yards for Parks. It'll be 3rd and 2.
It was great blocking there from Aranda. He starts on the right guard side, and he took a man to the left side of the play. So you must be doing something right there if that happens.
Pancake block, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
He was pumped. All right, 3rd and 2. They get it to Deuce Mason. He's going to get the first down, but not a whole lot more as he slipped cutting. And we know he has elite speed when he gets out in space. Deuce is a track star, as well as football and a good basketball player as well, 3-sport athlete. And first down Titans at the 23 of Woodbury. Score 19-0 as we're just under 4 minutes to go until halftime. Parks, another good run. He's still going into the secondary, still on his feet. Carson Parks churning, trying to get back into the end zone, and he will not quite get there. But Carson Parks, what a day he is having so far.
That is the type of fight that you do not see from high school running backs usually. Most high school running backs will either hit the back of the offensive lineman and either stop their momentum or get tackled right there. But Carson Parks keep turning, keep fighting, throws a couple people off him, and gets all the way down to inside the 2, it looks like.
Yeah, going to be 1st and goal Titans. And, gosh, I mean, almost every offensive play today has been positive for Trinity. Timeout Woodbury, their 3rd and final timeout of the first half. But Coach Mateo, I think, trying to get his guys a rest and making sure he has the personnel that he wants. So 3:13 left in the second quarter here. And, JJ, at the beginning of this possession, you said a TD here could be a knockout blow. And I think it feels that way. I mean, just we talked about this would be a close 4-quarter game. It hasn't really been that thus far. Woodbury has had really limited success on offense. They did get into field goal range, but missed. And I was just going to say, like, because they've come back last year against the Titans from an 18-point deficit to win. Also, we saw Trinity in the first game of the season against North Cross build a 29-point lead, but only end up winning by, I think, 8. And they let North Cross back into it. So I hear you, but I still feel like we still could be in for a Woodbury comeback at some point. But I do agree with you, though, that the body language right now, the Titans just are relentless. And these Tigers that have not lost a game in 2 years look a little bit rocked right now. This handoff goes to Devion Brown. Touchdown, Titans.
Brown for a Titans touchdown.
His 2nd touchdown of the day. As Evan Goldschmidt trots back out, and that was a rushing touchdown by Brown. So he's also in at least kind of sniffing distance of the all-time Metro Richmond all-time receiving touchdowns record, but that one was not a receiving TD. But the Titans do line up and go for 2 here. Devion Brown throws it, caught. Sam DiFrancesco for the 2-point conversion. As we've seen Devion Brown catch the ball, run the ball, and now throw the ball for the Titans. And it's 27-0.
Don't think many people had this on their bingo card when the game started.
I was just about to literally say the same thing, JJ. It's almost like you took my sports broadcasting class, because I was just about to say I don't think people had this on their bingo card. That's literally the phrase I was going to use. So you're in my head right now. I expected a very close game. Who knows? It may turn out to be, like I said, Woodbury came back from a big deficit last year to beat the Titans up at Woodbury. But right now, Trinity's had 4 offensive possessions and 4 touchdowns.
There isn't much you can do against this run game. If you look across the entire offensive line, you have 200 plus pounds, 200 plus pounds. Everybody basically across the line, 200 plus, and maybe an occasional 300 plus pounds. And it's not easy to go against this offensive line that is always on the ball, always ready, always trying their hardest and putting in the work. So I don't really see many teams being able to stop this run game. And you have 2 great backs in the backfield. You have C.J. Gray, you have Carson Parks, the 2-headed monster, really. So like I said, I don't see many teams being able to stop this run game that the Titans have.
Good special teams again by the Titans, as Sam DiFrancesco, who just had that 2-point conversion on that last possession after he saved the possession with his fumble recovery. He was part of that tackle, as well as KJ Harris.
Yeah, Titans still flying down the field, even being up 27-0.
Tigers look to pass. It's a little bit behind his receiver, though. The intended receiver was Nairobi Johnson. Coverage by KJ Harris. 2:57 to go. Woodbury has no timeouts left in the first half. Second and 10, another passing play. Williams is under pressure. He throws going left, passes broken up, then almost a spectacular one-handed catch by Ruffin, but there is also a flag for holding on the offense. So Coach Mickens could elect to back them up 10 yards and repeat second down. It looks like that is what he's going to do, I think. You could also, of course, decline it and make it third. They are going to accept the penalty, so it'll be second down repeated and second and about 20 from their own 10.
This Titans secondary is finally going to start getting their chances. Woodbury is in a throwing position. Basically, you have to throw the ball here.
Yeah. Well, it was great coverage by KJ. Again, Ruffin almost came out with a spectacular catch. It wouldn't have counted anyway with the penalty, but they look for a screen pass. It is caught. Good move made. And a very positive play for the Tigers. Number 11, Keandre Hudgens, is able to also get out of bounds to stop the clock. And
Out of bounds at the 28, third down.
it's going to make it third and 2.
Yeah. 14.
All right, third down here, and it's actually 3rd and 5. So, sorry, I heard he was out at the 28, but they're actually going to spot it back at the 25. I mean, I think there's some dispute of what down it is, but it absolutely should be 3rd down, as this drive started with an incomplete pass, which made it 2nd and 10, then the holding on 2nd down, so you replayed 2nd down, and then on the 2nd down, they just had the screenplay. So it should be 3rd and 5, and let's roll on from there.
It's finally starting to get a little cooler, though.
Yeah, so I think when I first got here, there were really no clouds in the sky, but there's starting to be some, and I think the sun is a little bit blocked, which probably is a nice relief for the players. Still a beautiful day, mid-September, as we sit here on the banks of the James River at Aycock Stadium. Crowd getting loud on this 3rd and 5. The Titan student section has had a lot to celebrate today. Tigers throwing again. Pressure is applied. He does get it away, and Ruffin caught it. He's going to get the first down. Oh, what a hit. That was Khalid Rayner with a massive tackle, but it is a first down Tigers. But Khalid looked like his dad, Wally, applying that tackle, who, of course, Wally played for 8 years in the NFL and was a star at the University of Virginia. My classmate, in fact, at UV. I know, it's hard to believe we're the same age when you look at Wally, who looks like he could still play, and look at me with a head of white hair, but hey, you know. At least I've got hair, right, JJ? All right, first down, they're throwing. He's off his back foot and overthrows the receiver. Tigers won a penalty, but good coverage by KJ Harris.
I think there was a little bit of holding there, but that's not a catchable ball in my opinion. So no flag there is the right call.
Yeah, and I think Williams, the quarterback from Woodbury, he's been tough. He's had some good runs, but he doesn't look very comfortable, and I think a lot of that is down to just the pressure that's been on him all day. I thought he actually could have stepped into that throw a little bit more, but I think he's just, they talk about like seeing ghosts. I mean, he's just seeing navy blue Titans in his face all day, and I think he got rid of that maybe a little quicker than he needed to. But that's what that constant pressure does for you. Flag on the play, delay a game. Woodbury, of course, out of timeout. So even as that play clock ran down, Coach Mateo could not get a timeout. So it's going to be 2nd and 15.
And not many players would be comfortable in this situation anyway. You got a bunch of Titans up 29 or 27, still rallying to the ball like it's a 0-0 ball game.
This time it's a handoff to Hudgens. He gains, looks like he gained not much, maybe a yard or two. So it'll be 3rd and 13 for the Tigers. Clock running. Trinity has 2 timeouts left, I believe. A little surprised they didn't maybe use one there to preserve some clock on this 3rd and long. More pressure. It's Ben Rosen sacking the quarterback Williams, the senior. Ben Rosen. Great job by Ben. He came off the edge there, blitz from his safety position.
Timeout, Titans.
And now they do use that timeout to stop the clock at 1:13, and Trinity's going to get another opportunity.
Yeah, on that play, Titans sent 7, and the running back went out for a little flare route, but if you do simple math, 7 does not add up to 5. You're going to have 2 people coming free. And in that situation, those 2 people coming free have to get there before a wide receiver becomes open because you're in man in that situation. And luckily for the Titans, they were able to get there quick enough, and it resulted in a sack.
JJ, the czar of the telestrator, Welcher here, breaking it down for us. Ball knower. And math. Genius.
Not so much.
Well, you at least can figure out that 5 can't block 7. So good call on that one. All right, punt formation for the Tigers. Devion Brown is back to receive the punt. It's a good punt. Best punt of the day by Woodbury. Brown does not fair catch it. And great coverage by Woodbury. It is very rare that you see one player bring down Devion Brown by themselves, but great job by Styles Harper of Woodbury to make that tackle in open space. Harper out of Charleston, South Carolina. Obviously, JJ, of course, Trinity Episcopal is a day school, so, we have really, students, of course, from all over the Richmond area and the surrounding counties. But they're all at least, nobody, I think, drives more than, maybe 45 minutes to come to school every day. But when you look at this Woodbury roster, you've got South Carolina, North Carolina, South Korea, Bahamas, Africa, South Africa, as well as numerous states, Connecticut, and Deke Skogan runs for a few, but there is a flag down. New Jersey, Kentucky, China. So,
oh, wow.
It's always fun when we play a boarding school to see the hometowns. High Point, North Carolina. That's Sullivan Barnett. That's where my mom's from, High Point. All right, so that penalty was on the Titans. It'll be 1st and 15. .57 seconds left in the half, which as explosive as the Titans have been today, both running and passing. I mean, that's enough time to put more points on the board. It's Parks on the ground. He picks up about 13. Not enough for the first down, but gets out to the 45. Clock is running. Titans in a hurry-up situation.
Another thing I've noticed that whenever Carson Parks gets tackled, he always falls forward, which is what was like traits of good running backs.
That time Parks slipped, unfortunately. But that's a great point, JJ. And that's why he scored that huge touchdown on the 4th and goal early in this quarter. And looks like the Titans might just be content to let this thing run out. And they do. So Coach Mickens is satisfied with a 27-0 halftime lead. And JJ, before we take a quick halftime break ourselves, try and wrap up this first half for us with your thoughts.
My thoughts was that I expected it to be a run-heavy game. Both of these teams very run-heavy, but the Titans' running game has just been too much for the Woodbury defense to handle. And then I also didn't expect the Titans' defense to be flying to the ball like this. From the first play, they were just flying to the ball. They couldn't get the early stops, but they just had to get their momentum going. And ever since then, everybody's just been corralling to the ball, flying to the ball, making group tackles instead of solo tackles. In the second half, I do expect to see a little bit less intensity from the offense, but the defense, Coach Wally will not let up. He's going to keep them riled up and not allow them to come back.
Coach Rayner wants a shutout every week. The Titans were able to get a shutout last week, and so far pitching another one today. So that's 6 straight quarters of no points scored on this Titans defense, and I know they're going to want to keep that rolling. All right, we are going to take a break here for the halftime for just about 10 minutes or so. Get ourselves some water, and we will be back, though, to bring you what I still think will be a really exciting second half, and we'll see if the Tigers can do what they did last year against this Trinity team when they were down 18 and came back and won. And I'm sure Coach Mickens is reminding his Titans we cannot let that happen again. Back in a few. Stick around. Second half kickoff is returned by Devion Brown. He's got room. Great blocking. He will go all the way. Touchdown Titans. What a block. Kean Montgomery, among others. Right before I came back in this booth, I heard somebody say, we're taking this opening kick all the way back. And sure enough, they proved, I'm not sure who said it, but whoever it was proved to be a prophet. And I don't know, I guess that Meek Mill got them ready because they were blasting it on the sound system, and then almost a 90-yard kickoff return to start the second half. And JJ, if you're the Woodbury Forest coaching staff who probably spent all of halftime trying to get your guys to believe and buy in that you could come back, as the Titans are going to go for 2 here. It's Cole Dameron, and that swinging gate did not work. I don't know if somebody missed a block or what, but in what's been an otherwise almost flawless day for the Titans, and you know, Coach Mickens, and this is when he talks about the standard. I mean, he is so angry right now, even with a 33-0 lead. He is, you can see him. I mean, he is telling Coach Bell, why are we going for 2? Like, what are we doing? But that's the kind of locked in that you need to be a championship team. And I know the Titans have designs on a championship this year, and they look pretty darn good right now.
Yeah, that was going back to kickoff. It was great blocking by Kean Montgomery. He actually pushed one of the Woodbury players into the back of the D lineman coach for the Titans. So yeah, it was just great downfield blocking. Got a lane, and like you said, that 4.3 speed is not getting caught in the open field. So
yeah, that was one. You know, we've seen plenty of Devion Brown touchdowns that were where he did most of the work on his own, but I mean that one, he had several holes there to sprint through, and he's now scored running the ball, receiving the ball, and kickoff return. He also threw for a 2-point conversion. So in what's been an incredible career for Devion Brown, you got to say, with almost an entire half to play, this has a chance to be one of his best ever games. That was a very good return by Woodbury, and it's going to be really, I think, the best field position they've had all day. The Tigers only made it beyond midfield once in the first half, but they're going to get to take over just 5 yards shy of midfield right now at their own 45. And yeah, JJ, I was about to ask you, and I thought, I'll ask you after the kickoff, and then the kickoff, it sort of changes things. But I was just going to ask you, like, if you are the Woodbury coaches at 27-0 down at half, now 33-0, I mean, what do you think they're saying in that Woodbury locker room at the half?
I mean, like, in a game like that, like, the parents and like other spectators think that the coaches can like rally a team back together, but being like a player, it is very, very, very hard to like morally recover from something like that. So it's not as easy as it seems for a coach to rally his team back up. And then after the kickoff, it's even like worse because you just give up 7 points after having a pep talk. But so the coaches are probably just saying like, keep your head up, keep playing, like do it for like your culture and like have some pride in it.
Yeah, and Hudgens runs there for a couple. It's gonna be 3rd and 7, and no, I think that's good analysis. And I mean, I talked to a couple Woodbury fans at halftime, and I mean, first of all, they were really impressed with how good Trinity looks today. But I think they also realize, even coming off their incredible undefeated season last year, that this was going to be a challenge, and there's a lot of football left to be played this season. So to me, it's like, can we come back from 33 down to win? Probably not, but can we start to establish that we're a team that never quits and never gives up? Because most Saturdays, they're not going to play a team as good as this Titan team is, and that's going to be delay a game on Woodbury. So they've struggled to get first downs all day, and now what would have been a 3rd and 7 becomes a 3rd and 12. Student section's been strong all day. Even on this warm day with a pretty lopsided score, they're still getting loud. Williams to throw. I think that was caught. That's a heck of a catch, actually, there by number 3, Nairobi Johnson. And that would have been good, I think, in the NFL. I think he was able to manage to get both feet down. Now, it's still going to be 4th down, but it's 4th and a manageable 1. And that was probably one of the more positive passing plays that the Tigers have had today.
I was talking during halftime to my dad, shout out my dad, and he said that, like, Woodbury's quarterback has had to roll out every single play, and that really doesn't, work well if you're not able to set your feet. But on that play, another rollout, and he was able to find his man, and it was a great catch on the sideline.
On the 4th down, they're going to run for it. He does get it. Hudgens needed 1. He picked up 2. Keandre Hudgens with a big first down there for the Tigers. So you're saying you come from a family of ball knowers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting at halftime. Just left the booth for a bit, I talked to some fans from both teams, and really the kind of prevailing sentiment was like, wow, Trinity really might be really good this year. And, of course, this program has been really strong for a number of years now. And last season ended in such a heartbreaking fashion with the 1-point loss in the state semifinals to arch rival Benedictine. Titans, of course, had a big lead in that game as well. But you can already, I think, tell, like, today and last week as well against Fork Union that this team's just on a different mission, I think, this year. And just got to hope and pray they stay healthy. And I think that the sky's the limit. But there's also a really tough schedule, too. And just as I talk about staying healthy, we do see a Titan player go down. It's Sadiq Pone, sophomore. He's limping off. I mean, it doesn't look too serious. He is able to get up under his own power. I think that was just an official timeout, although both teams are taking advantage. I didn't see the referee signal that either team had called the timeout. So, all right, so it'll be 2nd and 10, and they do run the clock, so it was an official timeout. If one of the teams had called it, the clock would not have started until the ball was snapped. Williams, play action. He's got a receiver, but Khalid Rayner was able to get in and break that up. The Woodbury coaching staff begging for a pass interference, but I thought Rayner got to the ball.
Yeah, and on that play, the quarterback actually was able to set his feet at the time, got time to throw. And it was a better pass than we've seen all day. But like you said, Khalid Rayner able to get that hand in there, knock it loose.
Yeah, Khalid just his closing speed there. I mean, it looked actually like Williams had his tight end, Marshall Hughes, open. But when that ball was in the air, Khalid quickly made up that distance and broke the pass up. 3rd and 10. Wow. Mason Love with a big hit, but Hudgens, to his credit, was able to stay on his feet. However, that screen pass went for a loss of 2 yards. Could have been even worse. Mason Love timed that up perfectly. 4th and 12, and as of now, I think the Tigers do plan to go for it. And I guess you kind of have to.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about culture, talked about having a team that believes, and I like the aggressive mindset to go for it. Obviously, Titans would get great field position, though, if they're able to get this stop here. No running backs. Pressure applied. Kean Montgomery with the sack.
They're sacked by number 0, Ken Montgomery. Titan ball.
I mean, JJ, man, this Titan defense right now is fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a great two-play sequence there. On the first play, when a screen pass usually happens, you do see the quarterback taking a deep drop, and Mason read that really well, delivered a big hit, and then on fourth down, Keaton gives a left tackle a little bit of like a Euro step that you would see in basketball and rips right past him to get the quarterback sack. And now this Titan offense gets to go back out there, take a little bit of time off the clock, and hopefully get another touchdown.
I'm hoping at the end of this game that we can maybe get one of these players for a post-game interview, and I keep sort of changing my mind who we should ask up here, because Trey Cherry, Devion Brown, Carson Parks, Keon Montgomery, there's so many heroes in this game so far. CJ Gray runs for a gain of 3. There is a flag, and it's going to be, I think, a legal shift against the Titans, so that play will not count.
Replay first down. Timeout, Titans.
All right, so Trinity Episcopal uses a timeout. I think maybe just didn't like the sloppiness on the first offensive play from scrimmage, actually, the second half for the Titans, because they received the second half kickoff. Devion Brown took it to the house. So this Titan offense has been off the field for, over 30 minutes probably in real time. And even that last possession of the first half, they kind of just ran the clock out. So these guys really haven't taken a snap in a competitive offensive sense in probably close to 45 minutes. And you can sort of see a little bit of just rustiness. And Coach Mickens just was like, we're going to nip it in the bud. Like, he's not going to allow that sloppiness to set in. We saw him angry about the failed 2-point conversion after the kickoff return. Mm-hmm. And then we get a penalty, and Coach Mickens immediately calls timeout and gets his guys over and made it very clear that we are going to continue to play to our standard no matter what the score. So, 1st and 15. CJ Gray picks up 3.5 yards.
CJ Gray up the middle for a gain of 4.
Tackle made by Joshua Lord for the Tigers. Joshua Lord from South Africa. It'll be 2nd and a long 11. Titans didn't huddle, but they're still getting the signals for this offensive play. Play clock down to 10. Well, for a rare time today, there was nowhere to run for CJ Gray. Great job by the Tigers D-line. Grayson Cooley, number 75, as well as 77, Joshua Lord, whose name we just called on the previous play.
Yeah, got great penetration there through the Titans' offensive line and was able to stop CJ Gray in the backfield.
3rd and 15. Titans have yet to punt today. In the first half, their first 4 possessions, they scored a touchdown each time, and then on possession number 5, just let the halftime clock run out. But if they don't pick up 15 yards here, we probably will see Houston punt for the first time today. But maybe not, because although it was just shy of first down, it makes it a very manageable 4th and short as Deke Scogan hit Devion Brown.
Devion Brown down to the 30.
Looks like it'll be 4th and 3, and Titans will go for it.
And those are the kind of passes that, like, the Trinity fans have been looking to see the entire year. We haven't really seen much of that since the North Cross game, where they had a couple of deep passes, a couple of good passing plays. But, yeah, we've been waiting to see that passing game get up to speed. And now that sets up the running game.
Here goes CJ Gray to the house. No flags. Touchdown, Titans.
Yeah, like I was just about to say, that passing game, when it opens up, sets up the running game. You don't have as many people in the box. You have to worry about the deep passes to the great receivers that Trinity has. And like I said, sets up the running game. CJ Gray able to just work around the defense, get to the outside, and score a touchdown.
This is to go back to that theme of not on the bingo card. I did not anticipate that the Titans would be in such a decisive fashion with now a 40-0 lead as Evan Goldschmidt makes that extra point. But in all phases today, let's start with talking about the defense, which is yet to allow a point, and really, I mean, Woodbury's only crossed midfield once. I mean, I guess maybe on the last possession but that was more down, honestly, to their field position. And the offense who's not punted, and the special teams with a kickoff return for a touchdown, as well as, for the most part, other than the last kick return, the kick coverage has been excellent as well. Woodbury started most possessions at or around their own 20-yard line. So, like, what more could you really ask for from a Trinity perspective? For Woodbury Forest, I mean, this is a very proud program with a history of tremendous success. And as we mentioned several times on the broadcast, they went undefeated last year. And so they're not used to being on the receiving end of, a 40-0 score line, as this time Goldschmidt does knock it into the end zone, like we saw him doing a lot last Saturday against Fork Union.
So that means his Titans offense has put up at almost 40 points every game. They're averaging about 42 points every game.
Yeah, and I went back because I knew Woodbury was undefeated last season, but I went back even to the year before, and they won their last two games in the 2023 season. So that win streak for the Tigers stands in double digits, and in fact, indeed, their last loss was on this very ACOG Stadium field back in October of 2023. And before that, you got to go back over a month, about 6 weeks before that, since they lost early in the 2023 season. So they won 5 out of 6 to finish up the 2023 season, and then 9-0 last year, 1-0 to start this year. So, gosh, what is that? I think they'd won 16 out of 17 coming in, and again, they only lost to Trinity. And it's going to be the first loss, very, very likely, barring a huge miracle comeback in a long, long time for the Tigers. They were able to run for no gain, and it's going to be 3rd and long. This is a situation the Tigers have found themselves in many times this year, or this game, I should say.
Yeah, it was a weird play call. They just kind of like a toss to the side and then just let him run around a little bit. Just kind of a weird play call in my opinion. I was expecting maybe a pass, a short slant, crossing route, just something to get the offense going.
All right, 3rd and 8, shotgun formation, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. There is a flag, and they blow the play dead. So pre-snap penalty. It is encroachment on the defense. A rare mistake for the Titans defense today is going to make it 3rd and 3 instead of 3rd and 8 that it was.
Encroachment on the Titans. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Producer Ash Bell gets to use that flag icon. That thing, the first quarter we used it a year's worth, but it's been, for the most part, a lot cleaner since the 2nd and 3rd quarter. We've seen a lot less flags. All right, so 3rd and 3. Crowd getting loud. Play action, pass. Hudson Zell goes down. He did not catch it. Would not have been enough for the first down anyway. Good effort by Zell, though.
Once again, quarterback not able to set his feet. Had to do a jumping sidearm throw and didn't have the strength to get there, resulting in incomplete pass. And now 4th down once again. You have to go for it in this situation. But it's not an ideal situation to be in. You put a lot of pressure on your team.
It's not, and I think back to that first 4th down that Woodbury had on their very first possession when they had a 4th and 1 near midfield, initially lined up to go for it, and after they gotten a couple first downs to start the game, called a timeout, elected to punt, and this time it's close. I don't know if you got it. Also, there is a flag anyway, so the run was by Dax Valines. It is a penalty on Woodbury, though. So Dax Valines, the sophomore out of Charlottesville, Virginia, that run won't count. And I think he actually maybe had just gotten enough for the first down.
He definitely had enough.
Instead, it will be 4th and a few yards here. And now they are going to punt. But, yeah, JJ, I think that was a tone setter when I think the first possession, Woodbury had gotten a couple of first downs. That 4th and 1, and we said this is going to be a huge play. Remember, the Titans called timeout first to get their defense set. Then the Tigers responded and called timeout, and we were talking about a chess match. They punted, and really ever since then, I mean, they've been living from behind. The left-footed punter. It's not a very long punt, but it does get a good friendly bounce for the Tigers and rolls out of bounds at the 43. Sullivan Barnett.
Very interesting punter return style from the Titans, because if you don't rush the punter, you give him a lot of time to take his time, punt it high in the air, and the defense is already closing in on Davion, so you don't even give him a chance to return it. So all you really can do is let that ball fall, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, and it almost looked like Barnett, I mean, it was 4th and, 7, I think. And obviously he's receiving the snap more than 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but almost looked like he could have run for it.
There are some plays in college that they have done that. I don't really remember, the specific teams that have done it. But, yeah, there are times where the defense just sprints straight back and the punter just catches it and just takes off going forward and gets the first down.
That pass complete to Deuce Mason. Deuce is still on his feet, although he probably would have been well served to go down initially, because he would have gained a couple, but he was able to stay on his feet and then went backwards and actually ended up, I think, losing a yard. So we'll go for a completion, but for -1 yards on Deke Scogan's stats today. Handoff to Carson Parks. I feel like we haven't seen a whole lot of Parks for a while. Just really the Titan offense hasn't been on the field a whole lot this half. And then it was C.J. Gray who took it to the house on the most recent possession. All right, so it's going to be 3rd and 4. Clock is down to about 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. The play clock has 15 on it, so the Titans will have to run at least one more play this quarter. And it's a mesh concept. They're looking over the top for Sam DeFrancesca, and DeFran did a nice job separating and was just slightly overthrown, but I actually thought it was a pretty good throw, and I think that's one like Sam probably when he looks at it will think he maybe could have caught.
Yeah, he wrapped his head around a little bit too late to be able to track the ball in the air. I do think, because he definitely has the length of his arms to catch that, but also running the ball on that play wouldn't have been a bad idea either. There was a little bit of a hole open, but I do agree that the pass was the better situation, just incomplete.
Yeah, and that play concept is not one we've maybe seen a whole lot from the Titans this year. That long delayed, I mean, looked kind of like a run pass option, and I liked the play. I mean, I think and DeFran is a great target at what is he, probably 6'6", good hands, great athlete. As we mentioned earlier, he'll be playing football next year at the University of Richmond, just a few miles down the road. That's my guy right there. Sorry. Yo, Lewis. All right, so we are going to see Hugh Stone punt for the first time today to start the fourth quarter. It's a really good punt by Huey. It takes a great bounce, too. And it's going to finally come to rest all the way at the 6-yard line. So great punt by Huey Stone. About a 45-yard punt with no return. And Hugh Stone, who he just recently committed to Carnegie Mellon University up in Pittsburgh, where he'll be playing football there. Great academic school at the Division III level.
Yeah, hasn't had much opportunity to punt this year, but every time he has done it, once versus Fuma and then once versus Woodbury today, it has been two really, really, really good punts.
Yeah, I mean, Huey's been the starting punter, I believe, all 4 years, even going back to his 9th grade year when he was a lot smaller than he is now. But he's also added tight end, and he even played some fullback today. So good to see Huey unload a great punt. Joined now in the booth by Parker Boyd, who TESPN fans have heard in previous games as defense just continues to fly to the ball. Trey Cherry and Devion Brown with the that was Trey Cherry and Kean Montgomery, rather. Parker, you've been at this game the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm.
What have your impressions been?
I think our defense have played really well and just allowed us to get a lot of stops and get the offense continuously going. And it's just been really good offense. I mean, running the ball has been great for us today. And then when we get in downfield, we're just taking advantage of all the scoring opportunities.
Yeah, so that was a loss of a couple there, and the Tigers left 2nd and 12 from their own 5. The Titan student section, which from up here has sounded really loud all day, has finally started to thin out a bit with this lopsided score. Parker, have you been in the student section all day?
Mm-hmm.
What's the vibe been like in the stands?
It's very energetic and it's very hot.
Well, great to have you, class of 2028, TESPN broadcaster. Got class of 27, J.J. Welcher. Class of 2026, Ash Bell, our producer. And class of a long time ago, me. All right, good run here for Hudgens. He will get the first down on that 3rd and 7. So a positive play for the Tigers as they even having obviously not the day they would want, but still battling hard.
Yes, run game is starting to find their footing. The first play, Trey Cherry came downhill, made a great play, but ever since then they've had 2 4 gains and then a big gain there on that play, forcing a tackle from, I think, Khalid on that play as well.
All right, so it is first down. Williams rolls right. That's a good pass and probably the most positive pass play Woodbury's had all day as Abby Ruffin, the sophomore from Charlottesville, makes the grab. It's about a 20-yard gain.
It's a great throw on the run there. It had a lot of on it, so it came very, very, very fast, which is what you don't really see from high school quarterbacks there. Usually on the run, lofted throw would have gave a defender a chance to get under it, pick it off. But, yeah, that throw had a lot of zip on it and got there to the receiver on the sideline in a timely fashion.
Whistle blows, flag down. Do your thing, Ash. There's the flag icon. And it is going to be offsides on the Titans again. Had a couple of those here in the past few plays, but hope everybody's enjoying our new score bug this year, and props to executive producer Carter Tyree for getting us better equipment. Now we just need that telestrator for JJ. All right, 1st and 5. That is caught, but immediate tackle made by Mason Love, but it is enough for another Tiger first down. And JJ, I think this, in my recollection, that's I believe 3 first downs on this drive. I think this might be the first time all day that Woodbury has had 3 first downs in one drive.
Yeah, once again, another strong pass there from the quarterback. Got there in time. I think it was actually JoJo who made the tackle and was on the coverage. But like I said, the throw was on time. It was a quick route, and that's what you need to do if you're Woodbury. Get a little momentum, get the first downs, and keep tiring this defense out.
There's Josiah Walker. Oh, he was able to bat it up in the air, and then Cole Dameron almost came down with an interception. I was going to be happy for Cole, who had an interception last week that unfortunately was wiped off with a penalty. And also, yeah, on the previous play, the tackle I credited to Mason Love. I mean, I thought Mason, he did look a little smaller. I just saw that about 1 on the jersey and thought it was 11, but it was 21. So kind of a bad mistake on my part because Mason and Josiah are very different in stature. 2nd and 10. And looked like he just threw that one away.
Looked more like a slip, in my opinion.
Ball slipped out of his hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That makes sense because it was nowhere near the receiver, and he wasn't under too much pressure where he would have to just get rid of it. But, yeah, maybe just came out a little funny. All right, 3rd and 10.
And going back to that 2nd down while we have the chance, it was great coverage by the Titans. Josiah able to get a hand in there and pop it up, and almost resulted in an interception for Cole, like you said.
Williams in some pressure, rolls right again. Pass is incomplete. Again, Josiah Walker was targeted, and he comes up big with the pass breakup to make it 4th and 10.
Yeah, they've been targeting them a lot this drive, and that's mainly because of the size difference out there. JoJo, like I said last week, not the tallest, and usually outside receivers are very tall, so JoJo does have to fight very, very, very hard for every pass incompletion that he gets. And on that play, he did really well. What did you see, Parker?
You know, I saw from the quarterback, he's done a great job all day to escape pressure and roll out to his right side. And that's a little bit easier for a quarterback to get a throw on the run. And he's made pretty good throws from that side of the field all day. But just great coverage from the Titans all day and shown right there again.
All right, 4th down here. This time Williams is going to run for it. He's going to get the first down, showing off some real wheels. And this is the possession of Josiah Walker, who makes another tackle, but not until a 23-yard gain. And J.R. Williams Jr. showing off his wheels there.
Wasn't necessarily the strongest tackle, but he was on the ground, so it goes in the stat sheet as a tackle.
That's ultimately all that matters. But to your point a minute ago, JJ, I mean, I've been watching, Josiah since 9th grade. With him being a short corner, you see teams try and pick on him, but rarely does it work. He does a great job. That ball was tipped. Not totally sure who got a hand on it. Could have been Maddox Patrick. He was definitely in the backfield, as well as Sadiq Pone was back there as well. Good to see Sadiq back in the game. He had limped off a little bit earlier.
That's the pressure I've been talking about all game. The Titans being able to get through those gaps and force the Woodbury quarterback to not really have many options. It is also throwing against this Titans D-line. If they all stick their hand up, it's like throwing through a bunch of trees. So it's not really a lot of areas to throw the ball when they do stick their hands up. So we do see a lot of batted down passes from this Titan defensive line.
That pass was incomplete. We are in a running clock situation and have been for a while now, just if folks at home were wondering why the clock doesn't stop on these incomplete passes. But with a 35-point margin or higher in the second half, it becomes running clock. So this fourth quarter has really flown by. I mean, the clock's barely stopped at all. 3rd and 10 Woodbury as they try to get on the scoreboard today. Titans hoping to preserve the shutout. Williams pressured again, eludes again, goes right again, and ultimately he is knocked out of bounds by Trey Cherry Jr. It's going to be 4th and 5. Woodbury will go for it. Play action. They're looking to pick on Josiah Walker again, and it is incomplete. The back shoulder throw intended for Robert McClellan.
Josiah will have to get used to that, though. A lot of teams are going to try and abuse that because, like I said earlier in the game, and like I said last broadcast, Josiah, once again, not the tallest cornerback. And a back shoulder fade ball is what you would like to see if you're the opposing team's fans. It's what you see in the NFL a lot on shorter cornerbacks. So Josiah will have to get used to trying to cover that, sticking a hand up in there, maybe getting his head around to the ball and try and maybe intercept it if it's in his
Yeah,
reach.
He's such a hard worker, and I know he grinds the film, and he works hard in the weight room and on his speed, and basically the things that he can control. You can't control your height, as as all of us up here know all too well. Parker's like, I'm not that short, but
Ash is pretty tall for.
Well, yeah, but not me and you, JJ. We're on the diminutive side. CJ Gray, not very tall, but he is quick, strong, and elusive, and he's had a really good game. Has another solid gain there of 5. We got a Woodbury player slow to get up.
Yeah, that looks like Kemp Chapman.
All the way up here, we can hear defensive coordinator, Coach Wally Rayner, saying, I like that. And he's, a very demanding guy. But he certainly can have no complaints with his defense today, pitching a shutout against a team in Woodbury Forest who put up 45 points last week in their win over Flint Hill, which is a team that the Titans will see in 2 weeks. That'll actually be our next home game, and our next TESPN broadcast, or TESPN football broadcast, will be 2 weeks from today against Flint Hill. Next week, the Titans go on the road to play St. Michael the Archangel. That's a team that beat Trinity last year and went into the playoffs as the #1 seed in the Vista Division I, although they end up losing the state championship game last year to Benedictine. But that's a team that I actually believe has beaten Trinity 2 years in a row, which in St. Michael. So that's going to be a challenge, going on the road, putting this 3-0 record on the line. Woodbury will return home for their game next week against Collegiate.
Yeah, I remember last year, that St. Michael the Archangel game, that was very competitive. And our offense played really well against them. Defense wasn't the greatest that game, but if they can play like they did today, I should believe that Titans can pull out with a win.
Yeah, this schedule is probably one of the toughest in school history this year for this team, and traveling to St. Michael is going to be a challenge for sure. Handoff to CJ, he fumbles. Woodbury picks it up, and they are going to score. So the shutout is gone. Touchdown Tigers. Shorty Struther with the scoop and score to get Woodbury on the scoreboard, and kind of feel for the Trinity defense, like they shut them out, and then the only points the Tigers get today actually come when Trinity is on offense. You can tell CJ's upset that he put that ball on the ground, but he'll learn from it, and better to do it with a 40-point lead than in a close ball game. But credit to the Tigers for continuing to fight. They ripped that ball out, and Shorty Struther took it to the house. The extra point was good, but there was a whistle beforehand.
Offside, it's on the Titans. At the distance replay attempt.
All right, so they're going to replay the try offside against Trinity. And the kick is good. Lucas Dingle connects on the extra point.
The second fumble of the day for CJ there. Not too concerning if you're a Trinity fan because you know what he can do, and you know it's just occasional, but you would want to see him hold that ball a little tighter, especially when the game is basically over at that point.
So with the margin now under 35 points at 33, it won't be a running clock situation, although I would imagine the Titans, assuming they are able to cleanly field the kickoff, probably will just go to victory formation or maybe have to hand it off a couple of times. Kick is fielded by KJ Harris at the 35. And
Kickoff by number 22, Sullivan Barnett.
it'll be Titan ball.
Number 2, KJ Harris.
Woodbury does, I think, have at least 2
I think it is too.
timeouts left. But I wouldn't expect that they would use them. I think it'll probably be 2 plays, and that should be the end of the game. Deke under center. They will hand to Carson Parks. Runs it for 3 yards.
Carson Parks on the carry for 3 yards. Second down.
And I'm going to actually try and line up a post-game interview here real quick. So, JJ Parker, you take it for a minute, and I'm going to hop out, see if I can get somebody.
Cool. So we'll be about 2nd and 7 for the Titans.
Just in.
That will be the game. Yeah, that is the final play of the game. So your final score, Titans 40, Woodbury Forest 7. And Parker, what did you see from this game?
Saw a lot of explosiveness from the offense. I mean, both running backs today had a really good game up until that fumble, and they still had a great game. I think that's the only thing they could really work on after this game is ball security and penalties on the field. But other than that, they played a really, really good game. If they could play like that all season, it would be a really good season for Titan fans.
Yeah, I agree. That defense flying to the ball. We had a few big hits early from Trey Cherry, Khalid Rayner. Just the defense really energetic, really jumpy. Coach Wally has instilled that mindset in them. And even at the end, Coach Wally, when Woodbury was about to score and the Titans defense got that stop, he was like, that's what I like to see, that's what I like to see. So implying that he still wanted to keep that shutout. And the defense technically did keep that shutout, but on the scoreboard, it will say 40-7 at the end of the game.
All right, so we do have a post-game interview, I believe, lined up. So Titan fans, stick around, and I've at least communicated that we have a player that I want to bring up here and chat. The teams are as you can probably see on your screen, shaking hands right now. So once that's done, we will hopefully get that player. And see if that message has been delivered yet. But yeah, so while we're waiting for our post-game interview, let's ask both of you, Parker and JJ, for a player of the game. You know, today it is tough because there's a lot of guys who have big days. JJ, I'll start with you. You've been up here with the best view of the game right here in the press box at the 50-yard line the whole game. So get your player of the game first.
I'm going to go with Trey Cherry flying around the field, delivering.
Did I have someone with roster, or you guys have a spare roster I can throw out?
All right, so JJ's going with Trey Cherry.
Yeah, he's flying to the ball this entire game, delivering big hits that really set the momentum for the game for the Titans.
All right, Parker, I know you were in the student section for the majority of the game, so a little bit different view from there, but you still were locked in, as of course you always are as a huge football fan. You got a vote for player of the game?
It was a little bit tough to see. I mean, who was flying around the most, JJ said with Trey Cherry, but most recognizable. I mean, it's hard to not say this, but Davion Brown, I mean, he was moving all over the field today, and no matter what he was doing, he was always playing well.
Yeah, I mean, Davion Brown had a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and threw a 2-point conversion. So that's a pretty amazing day from him. All right, I don't know if our player is on his way up yet or not. Well, I don't see him yet, but player of the game for me, man, it is a tough one today. But yeah, I guess I mean it's really hard not to go with Davion Brown when you have 3 touchdowns and 3 different ways of getting them. All right, here he comes. We do have a player coming. It is not Davion Brown though. It is number 1, Trey Cherry, who was JJ's vote for player of the game. And all right, hey, Parker, can you give Trey your headset here real quick? So Trey, thank you so much first of all for joining us. You are live on TESPN.
Yeah.
And we thought you had an incredible game today from the opening kickoff. You had a huge hit. I think the first 3 defensive plays you were involved, sacking the quarterback, making hits. You had a couple quarterback pressures today. You just were flying all over the field. And what got into you today?
It was like a long week of practice, man. A lot of work put in, so that's why I play like that, you know.
So I think you and I have talked before as fellow Commanders fans, as I think JJ and Parker are as well. So we got the whole squad here. But my all-time favorite player, you didn't get to see him in real life, was Sean Taylor. Yeah. And the way you were playing today, you reminded me of Sean Taylor, just covering every blade of grass, getting in the backfield, getting in the secondary, and just really playing violent, hard-hitting football.
Yeah.
Can you speak on, you just said, even though he was a little before your time, YouTube is a powerful tool. You said Sean Taylor's your favorite player also.
Yeah, I watch the film every day before the game.
Well, Sean Taylor would have been proud of that performance because that's what you looked like out there. So, obviously, Woodbury Forest, it's a team that went undefeated last year. Great team, a team that beat you all last year. I don't know if anyone expected it to be this kind of a margin. I know y'all were confident, but 40-7. Why do you think not just you, but the whole team was so locked in?
It started with the coaches, man. They put us in the right place, so, we couldn't fail when they put us in the right place.
I know you just want to celebrate and enjoy this one, but got to ask you, next week is another chance for a revenge spot with St. Michael the Archangel, a team that defeated you right here at Aycock Stadium last year.
Yeah.
A team that I think in your career, you're, of course, a junior. I don't think you've beaten them yet.
No, sir. Nah.
So looking ahead a little bit, I mean, what is that challenge going to be next week like?
We can put a lot of hours in and practice again. We can get revenge.
Well, 3-0, perfect start to the season, beating the last year's Prep League champion in Woodbury Forest. Just final question for you. This team, it seems a little different than last year, just a little more focused, a little more of a tunnel vision. What do you attribute that to, and just why do you think this team is so seemingly locked in a way that maybe we haven't seen in a couple years?
It started with the coaches again, man, and the captains as well. They put us in the right place, you know.
Does the way last season ended fuel things a little bit too?
Yeah, revenge.
Well, the revenge tour started today with a great win over Woodbury Forest, a team that I think will go on and have a really good season. A lot of talented guys and a well-coached team over there. Trey Cherry, you are we'll call you the co-player of the game. We'll call you the defensive player of the game.
Yeah,
Trey Cherry. Devion Brown did have 3 touchdowns, so we got to give him his props as well. But Trey, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Enjoy the celebration in the locker room with your team. All right, thanks, fam. All right, JJ Parker, you guys got any last words before we sign off?
Nah, just a great game from the Titans, and we, as Titan fans, hope that they can keep up this momentum versus Flint Hill, versus Benedictine, versus St. Chris, all those big games that are on their schedule coming up.
Absolutely, Parker.
Yeah, I think it's really important that we got this 3-0 start. I mean, we have some really tough schedules, like you said. So it's really important for us, standings-wise, to get that 3-0 start and build off that. It's always great for team momentum. I mean, for any sport, really. So really excited to see what this team can do this year.
All right, well, thanks, everybody who watched. Congratulations to the Titans. Good luck the rest of the season to Woodbury Forest. Our next football broadcast will be 2 weeks from today against Flint Hill. But between now and then, we should have soccer for you, field hockey, probably volleyball as well. So tune into TESPN for all your Titan athletic needs. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.